No one's really talking about this potential Red Sox trade target, but maybe it's time they should. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin, and one of the more underrated parts of the Red Sox right now that the Red Sox could look to upgrade in 2024 is second base. Right now, the Red Sox have a few second base options. None of them are really standouts to be their everyday starter in 2024, and that could be a spot the Red Sox look to upgrade. Now, when we're looking at second base, there's one guy that has been mentioned a couple of times, but hasn't really been talked about within Red Sox Nation as a possible Red Sox trade target. That is until today, because what we're doing in today's video is taking a look at an underrated Red Sox trade target the Red Sox could look at in the 2024 offseason, why this player makes a lot of sense for the Red Sox, what it would take to get him to the Red Sox in a trade, and ultimately whether or not this guy is a legitimate trade target for the Red Sox, or if this is someone we should stop talking about altogether. But before we get into that, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. Now, personally, I cannot take credit for coming up with this trade idea. In fact, the first time I saw this trade mentioned as a possibility was in our Red Seat Radio live streams we have every other week on this channel. Now, I forget who was the exact member of this channel that suggested this idea, but they definitely deserve full credit on this video. And the person that they suggested the Red Sox target was none other than Cincinnati Reds shortstop Matt McLain. Now, McLain makes a lot of sense for the Red Sox for a couple of different reasons. The first is that he is a right-handed bat who had a fantastic 2023 season. 2023 was his rookie year, and he wrapped up 23 with a 290 average, a 357 on base percentage, and a 507 slug. Good for a 129 OPS plus, or about 29% above league average production. Put that into perspective, that is the exact same OPS plus Tristan Casas finished his rookie season with, and Tristan Casas right now is a candidate to be in the top 3 for Rookie of the Year voting. He also had 23 doubles, 4 triples, and 16 home runs. Now, there are some sore spots when it comes to Matt McLain's rookie campaign. His K rate was really high at about 28.5%, and his walk rate was pretty low at about 7.7%. But overall, it was a fantastic rookie season from Matt McLain, and there's definitely a lot of potential there. For the Red Sox specifically, when we're looking at his bat, he fits in almost perfectly with what the Red Sox need, right? As a right-handed bat, he could balance out this lineup either in the top half of the lineup or the bottom half, probably not somewhere in the middle, but either in that 1 or 2 spot or that 7, 8, or 9 spot. Matt McLain could make a big difference in the lineup. He's also a guy who gets on base at a pretty decent clip and a pretty consistent clip at that, and on top of that too, he's got some sneaky power, right? 16 home runs in his rookie season only means that there is a possibility that he could get better or stay around the same. 15 home runs from the right side for the Red Sox going into 2024 could be a world of difference, but it's not just his bat that makes him an intriguing target. On top of that too, Matt McLain was really great defensively for the Reds in 2023. He finished his season with 2 outs above average, which is in the 78th percentile, meaning that only about 22% of defenders had a higher outs above average than Matt McLain. The caveat here is that he was a much better defender at shortstop than he was at second base. At shortstop, he had 4 defensive runs saved in 2023 with only 1 error in 53 games, a pretty decent stat line, but at second base, his numbers got dragged down a little bit. He ended up dead average with 0 defensive runs saved at second base, and he ended up with 4 errors at second base in 33 games. How that looks over the course of a 162 season, being an everyday second baseman, could be a slight issue going forward for the Red Sox. But again, this kid is a rookie. He's only played 1 year of Major League Baseball. It's hard to judge his full defensive capabilities on one singular season. And on top of that too, despite the couple of errors at second base over a small period of time, he still managed to have a really decent defensive season for the Cincinnati Reds. And finally, when we're looking at Matt McLain, a big reason why the Red Sox could look into targeting him is that there's a lot of years of control attached to Matt McLain, right? He's 24, like we mentioned, I think at least 4 or 5 times at this point. Last year was his rookie season, meaning that he's not scheduled to become a free agent until minimum 2029. Give me giving the Red Sox a full 6 years of control over Matt McLain. It's almost like if the Red Sox traded for McLain in the 2024 offseason, they were essentially calling up a player from the minor leagues. That's how much control you have over Matt McLain. So to really think about why he makes sense for the Red Sox, it's a couple of different reasons, right? His bat makes a lot of sense for this team. The potential with his bat makes a lot of sense for this team, especially from the right-hand side. He's young, and he's also a really decent defender that could slot in and become your everyday second baseman. Again, a spot where the Red Sox are a little sore right now. But the big question here is, how much is it going to cost to get Matt McLain to the Boston Red Sox? And is that value that you're going to be giving up for Matt worth the trade altogether? Plus, is he a really legitimate target or not? Matt McLain will not come cheap, right? He had a great rookie season. He's got a lot of years of control left. He's going to be a bit of an expensive piece for the Red Sox to target, but it doesn't mean it's ultra impossible for the Red Sox to come up with something that would entice the Reds and ultimately improve the Red Sox overall, right? Because right now, when you're looking at the Reds depth chart, there are a couple of different middle infielders who have really high ceilings. Elly De La Cruz and Jonathan India. Taking Matt McLain out of that situation would still give the Reds the potential to be pretty decent offensively next year. What they're really missing and what they missed in 2023, and the reason they couldn't make a playoff push in 2023 was because of their pitching, right? They do not have a lot of good young pitching talent. So if the Red Sox are willing to part with some of their young pitchers, this trade becomes a little bit more likely and a little bit enticing for both sides. Now, there are two different possibilities. Well, really, there are a bunch of different possibilities for ultimate trade packages that would entice the Reds to give up Matt McLain, but I came up with two specific ones that we're going to talk about in today's video. The first one is a straight major league pitchers for major league hitter trade. I'm talking Josh Winkowski, Tanner Houck, who Tanner Houck is sort of the anchor of this trade for the Red Sox, right? He did have a bit of a rocky 2023, but the potential is there for Tanner Houck to, at the bare minimum, be a solid 4 or 5 option for the Cincinnati Reds. Then you add in Josh Winkowski, who had a great statistical 2023 season that could immediately improve the Cincinnati Reds bullpen, but also too, if they want to try and use him as a starting pitcher, that possibility is there as well. This could be an enticing trade package for the Cincinnati Reds. Another possible trade package from the Red Sox could be Tanner Houck again, which I think would have to be the centerpiece of this trade. Then you add in Shane Drohan, who's close to Major League ready. His ceiling might be around what Tanner Houck's ceiling is. He did struggle in AAA. Not entirely sure what he's going to look like in the long run, but he's one of the Red Sox top pitching prospects. And then you also add in Manuel Valdez, because he becomes a little bit expendable if you were bringing over Matt McLain, and this allows the Cincinnati Reds the opportunity to make up some of their offensive differences after trading away McLain. So either one of these, in my opinion, could possibly get the deal done from the Cincinnati Reds and the Red Sox perspective. But if we're talking specifically about the Red Sox perspective here, I think I do this every day, right? I love Tanner Houck, and I actually think there's a pretty high ceiling with what Tanner Houck could be, and I'd like to see him stay on the Red Sox. But if everything we've been wanting over this entire build up to the offseason, which is a focus on starting pitching, actually becomes a reality, and the Red Sox do genuinely focus on improving their starting pitching, losing Tanner Houck may not be the end of the world, right? You may still be able to get really significant production from your rotation and your bullpen if you lose Tanner Houck. The other guys in this trade, in my opinion, really don't make or break this team. It doesn't wipe out the minor league system, and the Red Sox, from their perspective, right, if their focus is on starting pitching, this could be a very under the radar type, hey, let's throw this at the wall and see if it sticks type trade that could work out really well in the Red Sox favor. So if I'm the Boston Red Sox and I'm taking a look at these two trades, I'm really interested. Now, obviously, this is just a mock trade, and there's a ton of different possibilities for what the Reds could actually be interested in and what the Red Sox could be willing to give up, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be Tanner Houck as the centerpiece of a trade. It could be Cutter Crawford, it could be Josh Winkowski, but I think if you focus on starting pitching, you try and give the Reds some young pitching talent, it could work out really well for both teams. So in my opinion, when we're talking about the possibility or likelihood of the Red Sox contacting the Reds and getting a deal like this done, it's probably pretty low, right? It's hard for me to sit here and say that anyone is a definite trade target target for the Red Sox, but Matt McLain and the value attached to Matt McLain is 1,000% doable, and it would improve the Boston Red Sox tenfold, right? And there's obviously risk with picking up a rookie like Matt McLain. He could have one good season and then taper out and sort of fade into oblivion. He could stay around the same, which would be perfectly fine for what the Red Sox are looking for, or he could get even better, right? You talk about taking risks this offseason, being concise, making a legit decision from a trading perspective. To me, this is the type of trade that would absolutely do that, but that's just my opinion. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think of this trade? Do you like this trade? Do you not like this trade? Is this someone you would target if you were the front office of the Boston Red Sox? Or is there someone else that's sort of under the radar right now that's not really being talked about as a trade target that you would like to see brought up in some trade rumors surrounding the Red Sox? Let me know all your thoughts on this underrated Red Sox potential trade target that no one's talking about in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.